Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of February 6th. I'm Terry Morrow and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week we continued with our Brothers and Sisters series watch, so still a little bit about parenting, and checked out a new series on Apple TV Plus called Shrinking. We watched the first 2 episodes, Coin Flip and Fortress of Solitude. We'll talk about that one first. I really enjoyed it, with a few quibbles, but certainly was happy to watch it. I actually unitasked while I was watching it. I just sat with the computer on my lap and I watched it, which is something that doesn't happen all that often. What it is a series in which Jason Segel plays is he a psychiatrist or a therapist?
I think a therapist.
Somebody in the mental health field who loses his own mental health when his wife dies. And for a year, he is becoming just a sadder and sadder sad sack and losing his grip on pretty much everything. And losing his relationship with his daughter, who's going over to the neighbor for support. And finally, he's sitting listening to a patient make the same complaint that she has made many, many times before. And he just snaps and he says, "Look, your husband is abusive. You need to leave him. If you don't leave him, I will stop being your therapist." And she's sort of shocked, says, "Okay." And then she does it. And he's like, "Well, this was cool. This was better than just sitting and talking."
It's like,
doing
that actually works.
I'm going to go with this.
Right.
So he starts doing this with his patients, kind of, forcing them to do the thing that he knows they should do and has been trying to talk them, roundaboutly into discovering for themselves for many appointments. This meets with the displeasure of his boss and mentor, played by Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford! Hi there, man! I am so happy to see you. He's great.
He's so good in this.
He really is. I've missed him.
Yeah.
He's great. And also his coworker, played by an actress whose name I do not have on the tip of my tongue.
Jessica Williams.
Thank you. And
she's great too.
She is great too, in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm.
Coworker, I would be very annoyed by, but you know what? Those people are there.
Right.
She likes to drink a lot of water.
Yes.
The first 2 episodes were about him sort of making this discovery and then following through on it with various patients and the repercussions that ensue. The second one also had more about his daughter and where she is getting her emotional support from, most noticeably from the neighbor, played by Krista Miller, and also, surprisingly, from a very cute relationship with Harrison Ford's character.
Right.
So it was very fun. It's produced by the same people who do Ted Lasso, and I imagine written by them too. I didn't look up to see who wrote these scripts, but I've been a fan of Bill Lawrence for some time. I didn't start in time for Scrubs, but I did very much love Cougar Town, and I enjoyed Undateable, and we've been enjoying Ted Lasso, and this promises to have that same people you like to hang out with every week vibe to it. Mm-hmm. So I am looking
even the ones who are in therapy.
Yes. I don't know, the lady with the compulsions, what's he going to do for her? He needs to do it.
Yeah.
But the guy who was like constantly angry at the Starbucks barista, that was fun.
Yes.
How he rectified that. And I really like the actor who plays he has a patient who has rage issues, I guess we would say. And and looks like he's going to be moving in with his therapist, which is, I'm sure, completely above board and the kind of thing that the professional bodies are totally into.
Yes.
But I liked that actor a lot.
I'm
he did
looking
a great job with that character.
Up right
Tenny, I
now. Yeah, and he's like it's basically PTSD.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
what his...
He blacks out and beats the pulp out of people, including in one scene, somebody who richly deserved it, but still.
Yes. Luke Tenney is his
Tenney,
name.
yes. Excellent. I just look forward to spending more time with that guy. And Krista Miller's husband, the neighbor husband, is played by Ted McGinley.
McGinley. Sitcom dude.
Seen for a while.
Yeah.
I remember you.
He is long suffering.
Yes, he is. And he's like, you finally got all the kids out of the house, and then the neighbor girl kind of,
basically
moves in.
Became their surrogate child. Yes.
And she's at the dad finally, Jason Segel's character finally makes it to a school conference, and Krista Miller's character is already there, taking care of it. And then feeling
and
like,
knows all the answers.
Do I
to all the
stay or
questions.
do I leave? Her dad's here. I should go, but he doesn't know anything. I should stay. I relate to that.
Yes,
but I just enjoyed everybody in it so much. The one thing that struck me as odd, let's just say, did it seem to you, Catherine, that there were an awful lot of F words we can't say on this podcast in the show? I thought maybe it wasn't so much Brett Goldstein writing on this show as his character on Ted Lasso, because they have the same general vocabulary. I mean, I'm not a prude, and I drop some F-bombs myself from time to time. It just seemed like a lot for this kind of show. I mean, what makes it funny on Ted Lasso is it's that one guy, every other word out of his mouth.
Right.
And so it's a joke, but I don't think the rest of them are all just casually all the time using it as a common adjective, are they?
Yeah, well, I don't think Ted Lasso would ever.
I think, at times of frustration or exclamation, I feel some of the other characters may do it for a pointed reason, but not.
Right.
In this show, it just seems like it's the way people talk. Is it the way people talk? Maybe it is the way people talk. It ain't the way people talk around me, but then again.
Right.
I'm holding on to a sliver of hope that maybe we'll find out that his wife didn't like cursing, and when she died, he just started doing it all the time. That could be a plot point. Bill Lawrence, I'm throwing that out for you. You can reel this back in. Man. And then the people around him just sort of fell into it, because when you're with somebody who's talking that way, sometimes you just start talking that way.
Right.
We could curb this. Call me. I'll give you some tips. But I also, the one in these two episodes, I liked the first one, but the one that really got me laughing in the second episode and made me think, yeah, I'm going to like this show, was Jason Segel's character. What's that character's name, so I don't have to keep saying his name again?
Jimmy.
Jimmy has this best friend played by Michael Urie, whose name is...
His name on the show is Brian.
So he has his best friend, Brian, and since Jimmy's wife died, he has been avoiding Brian, ghosting him, not answering phone calls, not replying to messages, not seeing him, not doing anything, just like for a year, has frozen him out. But then he needs him for a favor, so he does have to call him, and they wind up
playing
pickleball, and that goes well. And so Brian just says to Jimmy, why have you been freezing me out? Why have you been ghosting me? It's been like a year. I wanted to help you with this terrible thing that happened to you. There's no way to explain this joke, is there, without you watching it? But
it's just...
Brian is a very exuberant, very, very upbeat guy. And when something goes right for him, whether it's doing some legal maneuver that gets somebody out of trouble or winning in pickleball, he says, yes, everything goes my way. And so Jimmy says to him, when your wife has died and your life is going down and you're just in the depths of despair, you don't want to be around somebody who's always going, everything goes my way. And Brian looks at him and says, I never said everything goes your way. And I laughed out loud and kept laughing out loud the rest of the evening and could not explain to my husband what exactly was.
You're like,
so
okay,
funny.
So there's this guy, and then it's his friend.
What an unredeemable sad sack Jimmy has been for 2 episodes.
Right.
Just the saddest dude, just so weighed down. And what he really needs is to be with that upbeat dude who will say, yeah. It goes my way.
Not yours, mine.
So that is an exchange that tells me this show is going to be fun. It's going to be effing fun is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's going to be. We're going to have a effing good time watching this effing show.
That's right.
I was thinking my husband might enjoy it because of Harrison Ford, and then 5 minutes in, I'm like, no, honey, you don't want to watch this.
Not a fan of the F-bomb.
Not like that language. No, does not approve.
Yes.
So, but very enjoyable, I thought otherwise. I'm sorry, I've just been going on. What did you think, Catherine?
Well, I've just been agreeing with you, I liked it quite a bit too. It doesn't have the, I'm a sitcom
Yes.
feeling to it.
Yes.
It's got a little more, and it's not that it's not funny and it's silly in some parts, but it just, it has a little bit of weight to it, but not too much. Right. I've certainly never seen a therapist's office that gigantic and that fancy.
It's California.
I know it's California, but holy.
They got a lot of customers.
Yeah, they are. And those customers.
I also want to find out what happened to his car because does Pasadena actually have a police force that will drive your car home? I don't know.
If you're a white guy. Yes.
Oh dear.
So yeah, it's just very charming, I like these people, and Harrison Ford, he is like if Han Solo grew up to be like 75 years old and living in California, being a therapist, he just has that vibe. So
Yeah, I think he does a very good job of creating that character, and you kind of know who he's going to be. And then every now and then something like spending time with the daughter comes up, and it's like, oh, he's that guy.
Right.
So I really, really look forward to more episodes with him. And I wonder, I assume at some point we'll get a flashback to what Jimmy was like before this happened. I mean, was he real put together? Was he real, professionally conscientious? Or was he kind of a screw-up who just wasn't sad? Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see.
Right.
I hope that will come along. I thought he has a little memory of his wife that plays out in the show. And I think that gives a really good shorthand to what their relationship was like. It was just very sweet.
Right.
And so I would guess we'll get more of that.
Right.
But I saw a lot of reviews saying that the first episode maybe won't reel you in. Give it some time. But I liked it from the very beginning. I'm good to go. The second one definitely. I hear the fourth one is really great, so I look forward to that. But I'm in. Yeah. We're going to keep watching this?
Yeah, we are. And it's new episodes every Friday on Apple TV Plus.
Yes, so we watched the first two when they dropped, and now by the time you're hearing this, another one has.
Correct.
So we're behind. But we will catch up next week, and then we should be on schedule.
If we do two this week, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Catherine will figure it out and write down what I should say, and then it'll all work out. But anyway, we will keep watching this, and very, very happy to have this as a thing to look forward to.
Yeah, and it's just 10 episodes. There's not a whole
pile of them waiting
exactly.
for me. Yeah, so we can have something to look forward to. So, speaking of things that just has a big pile of episodes, we carved another piece off of our Brothers and Sisters watch with an episode unpromisingly titled Valentine's Day Massacre. And it starts with not all the walkers, but let's see, 3 of them? 4 of them, because Sarah's on the call, even though she does not have a salacious story to share.
That's right.
But they're all doing that thing where they put somebody on hold and then talk to somebody else that always makes you feel they're going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person. But that did not happen this time. At any rate, Kevin and Justin both had sexes with exes on
Valentine's Day.
Yes, which makes me think of another, getting back to Bill Lawrence on Cougar Town. There was a song called Sex with Your Ex. Oh. Big mistake.
Yeah.
It's really great, but it's a big
Right,
mistake.
but we'll see whether it turns into a mistake for these people, for Justin and Kevin.
Well, yes, Justin hooks up with Tyler in. Well, we start out with the phone call.
Right,
Justin is at Tyler's, and Kevin is Scotty still there? I think Scotty's still there.
Scotty's still there.
On the phone.
And I missed like the fact that this was. Like, then they went backwards to tell how they got to this point.
Well, there's a screen that said 24 hours.
Yeah, but see, I missed that. So,
don't.
So then, when it did go back and things were happening, I'm like, but how did this happened after? And then finally I was like, I'm sure this has to be.
Were you sitting in the car with Nora and Emily, Catherine?
Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder played Nora's friend Emily, who corrupted her and got her high, and then they got busted. So it was quite.
Yes.
That was part of the
much to the delight of her children.
Here's what has happened.
Yeah,
the night before.
That's what at the beginning. That's what interrupted them all talking about their unwise sexual situations, including Kitty sneaking out of bed with McAllister to go call her sister in the bathroom. But then Mom calls to ask somebody to pick her up at the
to bail her out.
Station. So,
Nora looking
dream of every Walker child is their mom getting busted for pot.
Yes, because then Tommy and Justin, is it, that come in just applauding when they see her, like, congratulations,
they're delighted.
Mom. So our plot summary is all over the map, but that's okay.
That's right. Well, so is this episode.
Yes.
Anyway, so we see them all, that they've all had these trysts, except for Sarah, who's actually married and cannot apparently have a tryst with her husband.
Right.
But it's the plate. The plate's it's haunting you, the lack of the plate. Anyway, so then we go back 24 hours earlier and we see Kitty realizing that Bob, let's just call him Bob from now on.
That sounded so weird.
It really did. Senator McAllister is secretly running for president, and in a piece of dialogue that sounded like it was lifted from an episode of The West Wing.
Oh, it sure did.
You've been here and you've been there. Senator, are you running for president? Yes, I am, and I'm going to win. Seriously. Did they bring Aaron Sorkin in for a polish? But anyway, so they go off to hit up some muckety-muck for some money, and said muckety-muck is difficult, and Kitty speaks up to him in a way that probably was not really what was called for, but he takes her out to dinner, and she persuades him that he should put his money behind McAllister. This is the dude that's calling McAllister Bob.
Yes.
And Kitty, with thanks from all of us, corrects him.
Yeah. And do you buy that this guy was like, first of all, wanted to take Kitty to dinner by herself
in a restaurant, the restaurant of a hotel that he purchased, probably just to be able to do things like this.
Yes. And, the first thing was he was just going to be super mad at her and insulted and never, take her out to dinner. And then I was very nervous that he was going to be a horrible creep during the dinner, and he wasn't, at least, but
I think he's a guy who has enough money that he can amuse himself and give money or not give money, and it's like one of us dropping a $5 bill on the collection plate. So,
right.
But he was annoying.
He was annoying, and I just didn't buy that he was amused by Kitty instead of thinking she was obnoxious. So.
Yeah, none of that plot line made any sense whatsoever, because you know what? She's right. He does not need to be having an affair with his staffer right now out where people can see. Are you nuts?
Right here in front of this helicopter. Let's just start smooching.
This is not what's called for here, sir. What are you doing?
Yeah.
She's not that irresistible. She's very cute, I understand. But probably you could wait till after the cat. Well, I don't know. when exactly is the time that it's okay to go ahead and have an affair with your staffer. So,
right.
But now would not be it.
Right now, yeah.
Well, maybe he thinks it'll blow over, and then by the time he's actually running, we'll see. But so that was plotline 1. That's how, I guess, he comes to her hotel room to say, hey, I got the guy gave me the money, and to thank her. They have a very cute little, she's debating him, and he says, I get a rebuttal, and then he kisses her.
Yes.
And, things move on from there. And, I mean, dude is handsome, as we've often commented upon.
Mm-hmm.
And, she's not made of stone.
Right. But
still, terrible idea. And also a terrible idea is Justin deciding who's babysitting Cooper and Paige, and Tyler calls him to, almost like she wants to say she wants to get back together, but then she doesn't. She says, I have to go to this Italian restaurant with my boyfriend. Bye. So he goes to every Italian restaurant in, Pasadena. Is this one also in Pasadena? I think this one is also in Pasadena.
Feliz.
Los Feliz. Yeah, that's a area of Los Angeles.
Right.
And
he drags the kids to every restaurant.
Really? Does he bring Paige's insulin just in case? They don't mention that.
No, they don't.
And then he finally finds her and goes and makes his heartfelt confession of love or regret or something while her boyfriend steams, as well he should.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? This is his date.
Right.
She could break up with him later, but you don't come and interrupt a date with 2 little kids to declare love to somebody.
Right.
Again, bad Walker behavior and not what one should do. But anyway, it works. They wind up together, as we saw at the beginning of the episode.
Right.
Hopefully, Paige and Cooper are no longer around at that point. Yeah. But what did he do with them? Dropped them off at Mom's house and said, I got a date.
Well, no, because Nora wasn't there. She was busy smoking dope with Margot Kidder.
Right. She
couldn't
was in
have
no
dropped.
shape to babysit.
Yeah, no.
Oh, dear. And then Kevin's at the gym with Chad and Michelle. And Michelle's flirting with him and talking to him, and I fixed you up with one of my friends, and then she realizes he's gay, and then, oh, I have this perfect guy for you. And this is an instance where the previously ons completely ruined things.
Yes.
If Scotty had not been in the previously ons, right, I don't think I would automatically known that's who she was setting him up with. But once you see he's going to be in it,
yeah,
it's totally going to be him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely ruins any suspense whatsoever. So network people, cut it out.
Right. You got to skip the recap.
Yeah, I guess. Although they couldn't think we would forget Scotty. Scotty wasn't forgettable. Anyway.
Right.
So Kevin goes to this party, and Michelle brings him over to the guy that she set him up with. And of course it's Scotty, and Chad is doing his dutiful, heterosexual thing with his girlfriend, and so Kevin winds up sleeping with Scotty just to tick Chad off, and winds up losing Scotty again. So Scotty, who has a very tight grip on the moral high ground and is not afraid to use it. Anyway, so those are the 3 shenanigans that Walker's got into. And then the 4th thing, which involved, neither of the married people had any fun on Valentine's Day. Although, if we believe what was going on with Julia before, Tommy was probably pretty busy. But they had their problem is at work. Somebody else wants to buy the winery. Sarah is very glad to see Holly's plan go down in flames. But Holly, clever little vixen that she is, goes and puts in Tommy's ear that his dad wanted to buy the winery for him to run, and that's why he brought in Sarah to run Ojai, so that Tommy could go off and run the winery, and why don't we just get this winery, and it can be for you. This woman did not keep a guy as his mistress for that many years without a few tricks up her sleeve, but maybe she's genuine. Who knows? But anyway, Tommy gets the idea that this is what should happen and that he's going to go against Sarah when she tries to fight it.
Right.
And, you see the episode ahead where that all goes down. Ain't gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Did anything else happen on this episode? Seems like enough.
Yeah, I think we covered each walker.
So that was Valentine's Day on Brothers and Sisters. Mm-hmm. Just the kind of misbehavior we have come to expect. And Norris Smoking Pot on top of it. And Margot Kidder!
And Margot Kidder! That was amusing.
And so next week on Brothers and Sisters, we will watch Season 1, Episode 15. This is back when seasons went on for bleeping ever.
Yeah.
Episode 15, Love is Difficult. Hasn't, like, every episode of the show been Love is Difficult?
It's like mistakes were made.
Yes, exactly.
Mistakes are always being made.
If it was Love is a Walk in the Park, that would be a different, wow, I want to see that.
Right.
How is that happening?
What's going to happen?
Which one of these is having a good time in love? And then we will watch 2 more episodes of Shrinking. Episode 3, 15 minutes. And episode 4, Potatoes.
Potatoes.
I like potatoes.
Curious about that.
Potatoes are delicious. I was sad for the chicken sandwiches that the girl brought to her father, and then he left to play pickleball, so she brought them to Uncle Harrison Ford to have. And those sandwiches are pretty soggy and cold by the time they got there, I bet. I'm assuming this was a hot sandwich emporium.
I guess.
Not a deli.
Yeah. They looked hot.
The bag looked like it had been like, fast food place or something.
Right.
I mourn for food like that on shows. Food that gets left on a table. The tacos. Did Liz, was Kristen Miller's character, did she have to eat all the tacos after the kid?
I know. Couldn't she give them to her poor husband, Ted McGinley?
Yeah, that's right. Where did he go? Come back.
He was walking the dog he didn't want.
That's right. I think he said he didn't like tacos. Taco Tuesday was not for him, but tacos are delicious.
I know. How could you?
Do they have a neighbor on the other side who could come and eat some tacos?
Right.
She didn't just throw those tacos away, did she, Catherine? That would make me sad.
She saved them for you.
I hope the potatoes meet a happier fate.
Yes.
Don't be wasting potatoes, show. Mm-mm. I mean, I'll take the F-bombs. I'll put up with them, but don't be wasting any potatoes. And that's going to be it for our Round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.